Hello all, welcome to the Cloud DevOps Guru channel. From today, we are going to learn about the Jenkins. If you are the new on my channel, please do subscribe the channel. Uh, please like and share this video with your friends who wanted to learn the Jenkins. I already started the two playlists, one for the Linux and one for the shell scripting. If you don't know the Linux and shell scripting, please go and watch those videos first in my channel. Then you can watch the Jenkins. Let's begin with the Jenkins. So what is the Jenkins? Jenkins is the continuous integration and continuous deployment tool. Means it is a CI/CD tool. CI/CD tool. In the market, we have the so many CI/CD tools. In that, we have the popular one is the Jenkins. What is meant by CI and what is meant by CD? CI is nothing but the continuous integration. Means when the developer will develop the code, that code should be integrated to each other and it should be work properly once it is integrated to each other. Whenever we started working on the some project, for example, you can take the one example of the project. You can take any example. In the project, we have the front end, or we can call it the web layer, right? Second, we have the business layer. Third, we have the data layer. You can take any project. We have these three layers in the any project, right? Front end developers are work on the front end like login page, payment page, purchase page, or cards. Whatever we can see in the front end means whenever we log in into the any web page, we see the some landing page, right? Inside the landing page, whatever we look that is developed into the front end that you can develop in the HTML. You can develop that into the JavaScript. So any language, or you can develop it into the PHP. In the business logic, we can develop the processing. For example, you done some payment. So that payment process will be developed in the business layer. So that business layer you can develop into the any language like Java, .NET, PHP, or you can develop into the Python. So in the any language you can written the code for the business layer. In the data layer, database engineers are work in the data layer and they develop the our data layer, right? In the any project, these layers will be present. So whenever we get some project, we do some planning and we divide that project into the multiple layers, right? And multiple developers are work on these three layers. So those developers will work in individually and they test their code individually in the initial day. When these peoples means web developers or Java developer or .NET developers will be implement the business layer. These peoples are work in individually and they test their code in individually in initial days. But when, for example, you wanted to deliver your project after 1 year, so these peoples will be start working from today, and after, for example, they completed their coding after 7 months or 8 months, then tester will be test this code. Once all the test cases are done, then only we can deliver that code to our customer, or we can deploy that code into the production environment. This is the complete process. But in this for this process we can call the big bang process. Okay, in this process we can integrate these three layers code inside each other, that after 6 or 7 months, If integrations are nothing but the mixing these all the components together, right? Means these components are work together or not. If it is not work, then our integrations will be fail. If the integrations are failed after 6 or 7 months, then it's very hard to find out the issues cause, right? In initial days, these teams are works individually and test these works individually when we need to deliver our projects. They will integrate these works and test after few months. This is called the Big Bang theory, right? In the above approach, we have the problem. If we face any issue with the code, then we have to look into the all the code. So if we face the issue in any layer, right? So we have to look all the code where and we have to find out the issues. But it's difficult because our complete coding will be done. It's very difficult to fix the issues. But nowadays, we are started the implementing the projects in the agile methodology, right? So we divide that project into the small components and small task. We started working on the small task based on the priority, and we can integrate our work together from the day one. Means whenever the developer develop the code and commit the code into the repository, we start the integration. If we know that code will be fail in the initial day, it will not integrate to each other and it will not work. Then also we are integrating and started testing. Here is in this case we have the one advantages, means we can get the issues faster, and if it is fail faster, we can fix the issues faster. In the initial days, these integrations are happen manually, but nowadays we have the so many integration tools. From that, we have the popular integration tool is the Jenkins. Jenkins. Okay. Jenkins is an open source tool, which is developed initially. We can call the Jenkins as a Hudson. That Hudson company has managed to the Jenkins. But once the Oracle has purchased the Hudson, so CloudBee company has implemented the Jenkins as open source, and also they has implemented the Jenkins as enterprise edition also. In the open source, we will not get any support from the CloudBees, but if you have the enterprise edition of the Jenkins, you can get the support from the your CloudBees, and they will resolve the issues if you have any issue in the your Jenkins environment. So that is the major difference between the open source and enterprise edition. Okay. Now, so we will understand the CI/CD. What is meant by CI and CD? CI is nothing but the continuous integration. Means whenever the developers start developing the code, they push their code into the any repository. Like here we will follow the Git repository. Means developer develop their code and they push the code into the Git repository. Once they push the code into the Git repository, we will start integrate our code. Once it is integrated, we can create the package. For example, we understand this process into the our what is the DevOps, right? But here we will once again we will understand. Here means developer develop the code and they push the code into the Git repository. Once they push the code into the Git repository, we will build and package the code. We will build and package the code using the build tool. Like if we are using the if we are writing the code into the Java with Maven, so we have the Maven build tool. If we are writing the code into the .NET, so we have the .NET build tool. So if we are developing the code into the Node.js, we have the npm build tool. So with that help of that tools, we can build the package. Once that package is developed, we can push that code into the Artifactory. artifactory. Okay, once once this package the code and push into the artifactory, so we will create some environment for test the code, right? For we will create some dev environment, or we will create the QA environment, or we have the PP environment, and we have the production environment, right? We have to deploy this code. First we will deploy code into the dev environment, then we will run some test cases on top of that our code. Once those test cases are okay, then we will move code into the QA environment. In the QA environment we will run the performance test, or we can run the integration test. Then if it is okay, then we will move code into the PP environment. In the PP environment we will run again some test cases. If everything is okay, then we will keep that code for some days into the PP environment. Then we will release that code to the production. So to do this complete process, we need some tools. Like for example, we need the tool Jenkins. We need the tool Git. If we are working with the Maven with Jenkins, then we need some build tool like Maven. Then we will analyze the code using the static code analysis. Static code analysis. Here we will learn the sonar cube, sonar. Then we will run the JFrog for maintain the artifacts. For creating the environment, we need Terraform, right? So these all the tools are integrated to the Jenkins, and we can automate these all the components from starting to the end. Means developer will be develop the code, they will push the code. Once they push the code, our Jenkins job will be triggered. Our Jenkins job will be triggered, and it will build the package. That package will be analyzed using the sonar cube static code analysis. If our code is not okay, then our job will be terminate. Then once that everything is okay, means our code is the okay, then only we can create the package, and then we will push that package into the JFrog Artifactory. Then we will create the environment using the Terraform, and we can deploy the code into the development environment for test the test cases. So this complete flow we can do using the CI/CD tool. CI is nothing but the continuous integration. CD is nothing but the continuous delivery or deployment. In the continuous delivery, or deployment. What is the difference between the continuous delivery and deployment? If we are deploying code, dev, QA, and PP, and production environment, we deploy the code. Until PP, if we are deploying the code using the Jenkins, that we can call the continuous delivery. Means continuous delivery means we can deploy our code until the PP. If we are deploying the code until the production, so we can call the continuous deployment. Means we can release the code to the customer. That is called the continuous deployment. So that's it from my end today. In the next class, we will in the next session, we will understand how to install the Jenkins, then how to build our code, and how to package our code, so using the Maven tool. So that's it from my end today. Thank you for watching this video. If you like my video, please do subscribe, share this video with your friends. Thank you.